spooked the hell out of him. Yeah, I don't know what that was, y'all. Y'all get in the comments, let me know what y'all think, cause that was weird as hell. What is up, what ifs? Welcome back to the channel. Today, you know, I got more weird, crazy, creepy TikToks that'll make you rethink everything. So you gonna wanna stay locked in, cause you ain't gonna believe this.
New show about an 18-year-old impregnated by Satan. That's Disney's latest project. They've agreed to stream the 6-part German-produced series on Disney+. The show's name is Pauline. It's produced by the same people who created the Netflix show How to Sell Drugs Online Fast. The producers say Pauline is, quote, close to their hearts. They're thrilled that Disney loves the coming-of-age story as much as we do. Don't get me wrong, I'm not encouraging a boycott of Disney. That's for you to decide as parents. But you should let Disney know how you feel. Movie Guide chairman and founder Ted Baer is calling on parents to petition Disney Plus to stop the release of Pauline on their platform. Baer wants to keep, quote, twisted and disturbing content from corrupting our children's values and beliefs. Remember the popular saying back in the 1990s, what would Jesus do? Maybe it's time the folks at Disney start asking themselves, what would Walt do? I can't imagine Walt Disney would have approved of a series like Pauline or the company's anti-family agenda.
Yeah, that's crazy. I think if you paying a subscription for Disney Plus, yes, you should say something. Hell, I'm paying a subscription, so yo, I don't like that.
Red door, yellow door game.
No, I don't think I heard of it.
You have it? This is recent. You have one person laying on their back, right? And another person is going like this, right? To their brain. So the whole point of the game is try to hypnotize the other person so they can visualize different sets of doors, right?
Yeah.
You can open any door you want, but you have to be careful of which door you open, right? So there's 3 rules. The first rule, if you see a guy in an all-black suit, you have to end the game immediately.
Why?
Or else
Why?
he'll kill you in that dream, in that hypnosis.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
So if you die like in the dream,
You'll actually, there's actually people that went out of the dream traumatized too. Second rule, if you see any demons or thing talking to you, don't talk to them in that dream. And the last one, if you get trapped in a room full of clocks, you have to get out right away or you might stay in that room your whole life.
Oh shit.
Yeah, so the little boy said, an all plain black man. She had to wake it up right away. Because he would have been killed in that dream, fam.
I remember that. It was like a challenge, man. You remember when them kids was doing all them crazy challenges? Well, a few years back. Yeah, man. It's just these young folk, man. They ain't scared to do anything these days.
3 phases of flight. The boost phase lasts 3 to 5 minutes. The mid-course phase can last 20 minutes. The terminal phase can last as little as 30 seconds. To counter the future threat, these guys have come up with a layered defense system. That means 3 chances to intercept any enemy missile. He's confident, but will it work? It used to be a normal Boeing 747, but with a few high-tech adjustments, they've turned it into a flying laser. Ingeniously, they named it the airborne laser, and it's the big daddy of missile defense. It's supposed to engage multiple targets, and can hit them from hundreds of miles away. The plan's to have a team of 7 ABLs policing the skies. Cruising at altitudes of 40,000 feet, they'll be ever ready for any hot missile action that might come their way. Here's how it works. Using 6 infrared lasers, the ABL constantly scans the horizon for missiles. Once a target is found, a laser-ranging pod measures its distance with a carbon dioxide ray of light. A track illuminator laser then pinpoints a specific target area on the incoming missile. Once all systems are go, a high-energy laser is fired at the target. If it hits the flank for just 2 or 3 seconds, the missile explodes. That's a boost phase bullseye. So far, the U.S. Air Force only has 1 ABL. The tech heads are making sure that the lasers and avionics systems do what they're supposed to do. They take it apart, they put it back together. But some leading laser scientists think that moisture and air turbulence will affect the ABL's laser quality. And when it comes to crunch, 1 missile will always get through.
Y'all really think that plane is for the Air Force to use against missiles, right?
Hey, Griff. Yeah, and Clinton is not the only big name expected to be released in this. Currently, within the hundreds of pages of sealed court filings related to Epstein, there are more than 150 individuals identified only as John or Jane Does, but the legal masking is about to come off. Last month, a Manhattan federal judge ruled that there is no justification to continue to have documents sealed in the settled case involving an Epstein accuser and the convicted sex offender is now jailed associate Ghislaine Maxwell. The documents are expected to be unredacted and released as early as tomorrow, and among those named, former President Bill Clinton. That's according to ABC News, which notes that the 77-year-old is mentioned more than 50 times within the lengthy court text. The references will likely come from attempts to have Clinton testify against Epstein and Maxwell. The ABC News report mentions that there is no indication that the records contain any evidence of illegal conduct or allegations of wrongdoing by Clinton, although the accuser in the case did claim that she met the former president on Epstein's private island.
You know what? Let me say this, bro. That list that's coming out is the lamest list I've ever seen. They made us wait for that list when the other list was pretty much accurate. Bro, I don't think they're going to make no arrest. Because listen to the key things that they're saying. Even though there wasn't any suspicion of wrongdoing, who cares? So what are y'all releasing it for? They're releasing it because that people know that ain't nothing going to happen to them. And they're adding the anticipation by saying, well, there's Jane Doe 107 who said that if her name is released, it would put her life in jeopardy. Now we really want to know. Man, look, I'm about to say F that list. F everything that distracts me. I'm just gear up and protect your family for whatever, because they not going to tell us. They not going to tell us the truth. And the fact that we even thought that they was going to even release something that was worth listening or watching, that's us slacking on our part. Because it just goes to show we believe anything. We're gullible people, man. And you just have to just prepare, man. And exercise your constitutional rights. That's all you can do, man. But y'all get in the comments and let me know what y'all think about the list, because I'm over it at this point.
It's an official Fruit of the Loom shirt, except the cornucopia looks exactly how we've all described.
Okay, this video is extremely interesting. Go watch her whole video, but she basically talks about how she found an article that is proving that at some point the Fruit of the Loom changed their emblem and took the cornucopia off, yet they've been telling us we're literally crazy for believing that it was ever there to begin with. So I know we've all, talked about Mandela effects a ton, but a lot of them, it's really difficult to find the proof that they did exist. So then everyone goes into these timeline this and the CERN that and blah, blah, blah. But this to me is even more sinister, because she found an article that basically says they did change it at one point. And that basically they've been gaslighting us and telling us that we are literally insane for believing that it used to have a cornucopia.
You know, when a corporate company as big as Fruit of the Loom start to gaslight people, something is wrong. Something is afoot. Because what is the point? It can't be a marketing scheme, because that's not going to make people go out and buy a whole nother pack of Fruit of the Looms to prove that the cornucopia is on there. You would have to already have one, because they've changed it up until this point. So, I mean, I don't understand it. Why do rich people feel like they got to play games with the middle class and the poor? I don't get it. Y'all tell me what y'all think, man.
So what would be the psychological reason behind something like this? What would be the point? She says it's marketing. I don't think it has anything to do with marketing.
No.
I think it's a social experiment, so they can figure out, can we literally convince these people that they did not see something that they spent years of their life seeing? Kind of like George Orwell bullshit. Convince us that something we actually experienced is not true. So on a smaller scale, if they can do that, they can literally convince us of anything. And now you're hearing some of these younger kids coming up saying the Holocaust isn't real. Helen Keller's not real. And they truly believe that, because they can literally just tell people things, reverse history, make all these changes. And even those of us who lived through the period of time where the cornucopia existed, they can tell us we're crazy, and we will start to believe them.
Yep.
So I think this has nothing to do with timeline jumps. This has to do with brainwashing and them trying to change our minds on these little things so they can see if they can get away with larger things. What are your thoughts?
I'm with her. I'm with her 100% on that one, man, because there's no other way to explain this. Why would you lie about something that was That's clearly real, especially when the girl pulled up an actual shirt that had a cornucopia. Why would you play with the people like that? They think we are some of the dumbest and most gullible, slow, retarded people on the planet. And it's all because they have money and we don't. People think having money makes you smart, makes you better. That just goes to show money amplifies what was already there. So if you was a douchebag before you had money, when you got it, oh, you are even more of a douchebag. But it's crazy, man.
There's footage of a cat turning into a human on camera.
What the
On camera.
That might be the greatest shit you've ever saw.
Yo, it's fucked. Let me
Check
see,
this out.
bro. This is crazy.
No, that's probably like the best line that you could have pulled out your ass.
Look.
Let me see this bullshit, man.
It's real, fam.
Nah.
Look.
A cat morphing, so it's like Pokemon.
It's real. It's So we talk about skinwalkers all the time.
Oh, okay,
Dog,
okay.
if this isn't a skinwalker, I don't know what
Yeah.
to tell you. Just look.
Okay, let me see.
No way.
You see the cat, and it jumped in the air.
So I'm trying the first part. Cat jumps into the air, right? What the fuck? How the fuck? Right?
Okay.
Then watch the second part of the video.
Yeah, I barely got to see that. Hold on.
Jumps in the air.
Oh, fuck.
Look. What the fuck? No, that's weird.
Wait, play it again.
Look. Ew. No. Cause you see how like the arm first and then one leg.
Like it grew.
Yeah. No, that's crazy.
It was mid-run, and it grew another one, and it was like...
Yo, that's crazy, fam.
No,
Man,
where'd you find that
literally
from?
editing,
This is going
bro.
viral right
Is
now.
it TikTok?
Look. No.
Oh, that fam. He turned into Slender Man.
No, bro.
Oh, that's
Bro.
gross.
The fact that the movement is
Yeah.
so unhuman like that,
Yeah.
and it literally that's that's a skinwalker. It has to be.
Bro, when I tell you the power of the software these days, you wouldn't even believe me. That's why when I see stuff like that, I can tell it's been edited because of my experience with editing. Like, bro, nah. To the untrained eye, yeah, that'll look believable, man. But come on, bro.
This video was uploaded to the Daily Motion by this user. It's said to be taken in Flacy, France. This group of friends had a bonfire going when they noticed something next to a tree and they thought it was a dog. So they throw a torch from the bonfire towards the tree, and what they capture on video is absolutely insane. Just watch.
Pour éclairer, putain!
Some sort of strange looking creature reaches around the tree towards the fire. The creature has really long fingers on its hands, very pale or gray skin. The person immediately picks up the torch and throws it at it and starts looking for it, and they can't find it. I tried to zoom in and enhance the video the best I could. Look at this thing. It almost looks like a classic version of an ET or an extraterrestrial, but it could also fit the description of what people call a rake. What do you think this creature is? It's definitely not a dog.
Yeah, I don't know. They looked a little weird. I can't even explain that one right there. So y'all get in the comments and tell me. Because it's always somebody be like, well, bro, there's a real video. There's a longer version to that video, and you can clearly see that it's this, that, and the third. So if anybody knows, get in the comment and let me know. Because, yeah, I don't know. I can't explain that one.
You really think that aliens are going to try to destroy the Earth when we have what they need?
That's true.
The only reason why they try to attack us is as if we were at war with them. We're not at war with them. We're not.
Right.
We have wood. They want wood. They don't have wood.
Yeah. So they need us.
Yeah, they need us. They need us.
And
We
Earth.
help them too. Aliens need us. So
Yeah.
And yeah, they are very, very real. If you don't believe in aliens, what are you then? What
An
are
alien.
you? What are you?
I'm an alien.
Everyone is. It's normal. It's normal to be an alien. We're not the only ones who have life on a planet. Do you know out of the trillions of infinite amount of planets, you know how big space really is? Because it's always been growing, and it has been growing since the very beginning, but there was no beginning because the beginning was always there, and there will be no end because the end wasn't always there. And it
How do
won't
you know
always
all
be there.
this?
Feels natural.
Where does it come from?
Probably aliens or whatever.
So your
technologies.
downloads that you feel that they're coming from the aliens or yourself?
I'm sure it's from the aliens, or maybe past lives. Who knows?
Yeah, that's amazing that
Yeah.
you just know all this stuff,
So
and
now
I
you know.
believe it. And so now we know.
Now you know.
The imagination is a great thing for the kid. I would never try to crush a kid's imagination.
Here's something crazy about cats you may have never heard of. The first thing is their pupils. They're slitted pupils. Do you know how rare that is in the animal kingdom? Lions do not have slitted pupils. They're round just like ours. Tigers don't have slitted pupils either, nor do jaguars. Now this is kind of the weird thing because I kind of thought that a domesticated house cat came from a big cat at some point down the line. But if they don't have slitted pupils like a house cat does, then what does have slitted pupils? Reptiles. Snakes and alligators have slitted pupils. Not any other cat. Now, in many cultures, ancient reptiles were considered to be kind of a trippy creature that had other abilities and senses. The other thing that's weird is that cats hiss like a snake, and they have slitted pupils like a reptile. They also love to eat mice, as do snakes. Now, we know how much the ancient Egyptians loved cats. Cats also have pineal glands. And you notice that cats will do that thing where they'll look in the corner of the room and be making a fuss about what seems to be nothing? It is believed that their eyes enable them to see outside of the visible light spectrum that me and you are bound by. Now, it's not known how a cat has half the attributes of a lion and half the attributes of a snake, but perhaps some genetic tinkering went on many years ago in ancient world civilization.
Something to think about right there. I never really paid attention to the fact that even though they say that cats come from like the cat kingdom, like the lions, the tigers, and stuff like that, I never really paid attention to the eyes. And never really paid attention to the fact that cats hiss like snakes. Amongst other sounds that cats make too. They make a lot of little sounds too. They don't just hiss. They do a lot of other things too. So I don't know, man. What y'all think?
I'm sorry, but what is happening next year? The latest predictions from The Simpsons are genuinely terrifying. And it's not just terrifying because of what it is, it's scarier because it is really that believable now. So, as I'm sure you're aware, The Simpsons has predicted so many events throughout history, whether you want to call it predicting or just being crazy coincidences, things such as the election of Donald Trump with these photos being literally identical, 9/11, COVID-19 in 2020. I mean, I could go on forever, like, just look it up, there is millions of them. But this one, I don't like it. Basically, in this episode, Homer is preparing a bunker, making sure he and his family are prepared for something that's about to happen. He has all the stocks and supplies for his family to be able to survive under in this bunker. And here we go, stick with me. Because Springfield is about to be hit by a deadly solar storm, this catastrophic event then leads to a complete shutdown of essentially the world. No internet, no electricity, everything comes to a close, basically like a fallout. The solar superstorm could wipe out the internet for weeks, months, even years. Like, it could take it down forever if it's that strong. Why is this so scary? Buckle in. First of all, a few weeks ago NASA made this discovery about the sun. Literally a great big gaping hole on the sun, which they said is essentially a solar storm brewing. Now, this hole on the sun is large enough to engulf 60 Earths. So yeah, it's pretty big. And what's coming out of this hole? Well, it is currently releasing solar storms. And it's releasing these at a speed of 1.8 million miles an hour. And yes, they could be heading to Earth pretty fast. Now, even scarier again, Baba Vanga, a very famous woman who had predicted tons and tons of events throughout history, said in 2024 Earth will be hit by a huge solar storm. And again, even scarier, the film that everybody is going crazy about right now on Netflix, Leave the World Behind, where essentially this exact thing happens. No, I'm done. I'm done.
Oh no. I think I watched this video before. I don't know.
Literally all of this stuff is fake, and I'm expected to just walk around pretending that it's real. Literally all of this shit is fake. The idea of going to a job to make a bunch of money so that the government won't fucking throw you in jail or turn you into a fucking for-profit prison slave. Like, but it's not real. Like, food literally comes out of the fucking ground. Okay? Electricity is made by spinning magnets around copper wires. I don't understand why we would all rather just pretend that we have to work to death instead of actively trying to empower each other to reach a point where we don't need to do this anymore. And I honestly don't give a shit what anybody else's excuses are at this point, because I'm sick and tired of suffering in the name of everybody else's ignorance. People are so desperate for a sense of independence when the reality of this existence is interdependence. Because it doesn't matter that you live alone and pay your own bills. Somebody else is providing all of those fucking things to you. Okay? You're not special for making it through capitalism. You're not special for gutting your personality so you could make enough money to survive. You look like an idiot. The nightmare doesn't end until you wake the fuck up and realize that we can do this together. That instead of working to death for a company that would sooner see you homeless than happy, we could be working for the sake of one another. It's called community. And I don't know where it went or how we got to this point, but it's about damn time that we do something different. Instead of just idling, hoping that socialist Jesus will come down from the sky and save us all. No, you need to save yourself. And then together, we will be able to thrive. But it doesn't stop until you do.
That's ironic that he say that, because he is a prime example of when you get tired of the bull crap that this system has put in place for us as human beings and how we have to provide and give to our family. Like, you might have people who are well off may say, stop complaining, stop whining, get up and go to work, when they don't even realize that the earth was given to you. You inherited the earth when you were born. And like he said, food literally grows out the ground, and the fact that you gotta pay for it is beyond me. Nobody is self-sufficient. And the truth of the matter is that if people really wanted to disconnect and go off the grid, they could. It's not illegal to do it, but it's difficult when you have children in this world and you've brought them up in the early years because you were ignorant to the fact that you were being bamboozled by the system, right? So when they get older and you try to redirect everything that you were taught and you taught them when they were younger, it doesn't work, because now they feel like you're taking the fun away from them, and you as a parent don't want to force them into your lifestyle. So that makes it 10 times harder. It's more easier for people who don't have children, who don't have responsibilities, to make the decision to go off grid. So yeah, I feel what you're saying, homie. I really do. But it's people like me that can't just jump off the porch and move in that manner because we have other people depending on us and looking up to us. But he made a great point though. He's absolutely right. So what I'm trying to do is, because I know it's going to be people out there say, you're a lazy, this, that, and the third, and call the man out his name. Because I know it's people like that. But you have to look at it on a deeper level. His frustrations comes from the fact that he understands that the world was never supposed to be like this. And this is what leads to stuff like people unaliving themselves. I don't want to say the word because I don't want to, get flagged. Because people feel like that the world is messed up and they don't want to be here. I honestly feel like unaliving yourself is a selfish thing, because even though it's messed up the way the system does things, you have a purpose. You may be the one to change it. You may be the one to make a difference. Like, there are people that always get in the comments, and I'm just a reactor, but they be like, well, you're making a difference, man. And that makes me feel good. And it makes me feel like the things that I say are appreciated. And I appreciate people for appreciating it, because I don't come on this platform to be right. I give my opinion based off the way that I think. I was him years ago till I understood that I have a purpose, and I'm going to work and I'm going to find my purpose.
The military fired 1,430 rounds of artillery.
That's a lot.
At this, didn't take it down. You think what's going to handle over 1,000 artillery rounds and not go down?
Yeah.
This thing did not.
And did they miss that many times? Probably not.
They could not have. And again, this is it's an interesting case, and this did not come down, and it just glided off. And it was tracked on radar coming to the coast. So what are we talking about?
Exactly.
Not
one artillery shell would have knocked that thing out.
No
if it was
question.
some kind of balloon.
Absolutely. So it's an unknown.
Tell me about UFOs for the 21st century mind.
You know, we can talk about UFOs in the 21st century. The thing about it is many people may not be aware UFO sightings have not gone away, not by any means.
Y'all see that, man? They're literally shooting at nothing. Because ain't no way they shooting all them rounds and still didn't hit it. But they can catch so-called aliens and go do research on them. But they can't hit that. Come on, man. Aliens can do that, dodging all of those rounds, but they come here and they crash. Bro, that don't even make sense.
These mirrors will make you question.
Okay, so am I tripping? Or... Okay, so the noise is my turtle. And I'm home alone, right? But the reflection shows like that's me.
Oh, wow.
Follow for more.
Oh, no, y'all. What y'all think?
All the conspiracy theories. And even if maybe it's one that's not provable, but something you think about, which one's your favorite rabbit hole to go down?
Well, it's funny, you know, I'm embarrassed to say I sort of bought the conventional view of most things up until several years ago when the evidence just, you know, forced me to reassess because it was just so obvious that there was a lot of lying going on, a lot. And I have since become convinced, based on an overwhelming amount of evidence, that a lot of the biggest stories in certainly the last 100 years, maybe longer, have been really distorted. Like, we don't actually know what happened, but we know that people have been lying about it consistently, and then those lies solidify into history, and if they're not questioned by anybody. So, I mean, I could go down a long list. It's not just the Kennedy assassination or 9/11, both of which are, you know, clearly there's a lot going on there in both cases. You know, I'm really bothered, honestly, by the attack on Pearl Harbor on December 7th, 1941. I think it's really clear, both common sense dictates, but also there was a Senate inquiry into it during the Second World War, which was kind of suppressed because the war was on. But the fact that the U.S. government knew or had an understanding there was a very high likelihood that our Pacific fleet would be hit and thousands would die in Pearl Harbor, Hawaii, by Japan, they allowed that. And then they allowed all the, you know, U.S. servicemen in the Philippines, in Corregidor and Manila, to be killed and captured, which they were. I mean, they actually, Roosevelt and his war planning staff, allowed that to happen. I think it's clear. And that's a monstrous crime. You should never allow your countrymen to be killed. I just can't even imagine that. And I'm sure that Roosevelt, I have no doubt, told himself, you know, we're doing this for a higher good, and they wanted to get involved in the war in Europe. They needed it couldn't be a voluntary war. We had to be responding to an attack. And clearly they allowed that. And I can't imagine how Roosevelt lived with himself. He didn't live much longer, actually. And I just think it's a really big deal. If the U.S. government would do that, or a president would do that, like, we need to rethink our relationship to the state. In my opinion, no one ever talks about that, but I think it's entirely real, and there's a lot of evidence that it is.
Well, and Tucker is right, but you have to understand that nobody's talking about it because everybody is distracted by aliens and Nephilims and 8 to 10 foot tall creatures being seen at a mall, which is fake, by the way, when we ain't even really looking at the real stuff that we need to be worried about. Our leaders are who we need to be creating the conspiracies about. That's who we need to be talking about. Like, for real, we need to be cracking that open, because until we get a handle on that as the American people, never gonna get nowhere. We're never gonna get anywhere. And that's just what it is. That's my take on it.
Did you hear about Africa splitting into 2 continents?
What? This is crazy.
Yeah. So I looked into it a little more this morning, and it's been happening for a good minute.
Okay.
But it's like the past... I think this past year, it's starting in Kenya, but just like overnight, this, like, it's a couple kilometers long. Just this valley just went
massive crater. How deep is it?
Like a physical one, not like a topographical one.
No, well, that would be both of those would be.
I meant like a mapographical.
What? You know, like a mapographical.
It looks like something straight out of like a Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson like catastrophe movie.
Okay.
Where literally the earth is split open.
It's like 60 feet wide. Right now, it's like 50 feet deep.
Wow.
And they're saying that a new ocean is going to form into it.
I did hear about something like that.
Yeah, but it's
Wow.
they're saying Africa, it's literally this part of Africa is going to like just split off.
That's crazy.
It ain't too far-fetched. At one point in time, all the countries and continent were one. And that's why everybody says the originator of man is Africa. Everybody comes from Africa because we all were one continent at one point, you know? So, I mean, it ain't too far-fetched. I mean, hey, it is what it is.
Kundalini energy that is in us is a feminine energy. And this has a lot to say because that means in actuality,
Brother Bobby hit me right there.
if the Kundalini energy is a feminine energy, that means that the people who have full access to the Kundalini power, their males are nothing but renditions of women.
That's true.
They're male women. So, in the particular aspect here is because the force that's in us is a feminine energy. And this is only a hologram, then that means in actuality that that particular force inside of us is just nothing but an extension of the divine feminine. You see, which is interesting here when we say that black male, and especially black man in America, is not only you have racism, but you also have sexism. He's one of the few males that is discriminated based on his sexuality too. When it comes to the European man feeling inferior based on that shit, based on the sexuality thing. But there's a spiritual aspect about that also too, and that is that the force within him is a feminine force. The Kundalini is a feminine energy.
Yeah, those are facts. Because, I mean, even before your mom got the ultrasound to find out if you were a boy, she had to wait a while before she could do that because you literally were a female. And even with the XX chromosomes, in order for it to become a Y chromosome, that's what men are, XY, you have to break one of the limbs off one of the X's to make it XY. So we are just lesser versions of a woman. Women have the oldest mitochondria gene on the planet, and it predates the male mitochondria gene by, I think, like 100,000 years. At one point in time, women were able to impregnate themselves through their bone marrow. And this is knowledge that I've read about years ago. And they even did studies, I forgot which university it was, but they did studies where they proved that women still have the ability to do it, but their bodies forgot the impregnation process. Since they've created man, they haven't had to do it for thousands and thousands, hundreds of thousands of years. So, hey, but y'all get in the comments and let me know what y'all think about that, though.
Notice that when something good happens to you, we already know something bad's about to happen. Me and my wife, we were in Hawaii, and we made some big, bold declarations. We said we were about to go achieve this, achieve that. And I looked at my wife, I said, honey, I said, expect a string of bad things to start happening to us, because when it rains, it pours. We get home, we're driving from the airport, tire blows out. It's starting, but we knew this. And the next thing you know, I got hit with COVID. Well, I was out for 3-4 weeks. I lost 45 pounds in 3 weeks. COVID turned to double pneumonia. I'm on an oxygen tank. I'm like, those are some big, bold declarations. And this is the thing, is the reason why the enemy attacks couples is because God says that when a man and woman come together, they're unstoppable. So when a man and woman come together in unity to make a decision, a declaration, they're unstoppable. So the enemy's attacking them. It's a test. In order for us to become who we're meant to be, to lead other people to greatness, we have to pass that test.
I 1000% agree, man. That is so true. When you are a couple and you make big declarations that we're going to achieve this and that and third, boy, that's when stuff start hitting you. It hits you hard too. But it's not until you come up out of those things that you realize it was a test to get you to your true destiny. And you have to fight through it. You have to fight through it. You have to do everything, and you have to do everything in your power, and you have to pay attention to all the signs that the Most High will send you in order for you to get through it, that test, because he will definitely give you the tool. But yeah, that's true though.
Do you know about the terrifying project called HARP? It's an American project whose aim is to control the weather. Imagine deciding when it rains, when the sun shines, or when a cyclone hits. And it's not science fiction, it's real. Do you understand what I'm getting at? Artificial snow in Korea, more artificial rain in Dubai, and if you mix it all up with the Blue Bean project, it becomes even more terrifying. Blue Bean is a project that would create giant figures in the sky. So imagine a giant religious figure in the sky cause earthquakes, storms, and mentally ill natural disasters. Imagine Christ pointing to a religion and with the HARP project causing an earthquake. How many people do you think would believe it's not an act of God, when in reality it's all controlled? Just imagine how much stronger the power of fear and belief can be than a bomb. In fact, by combining these two projects, they can literally create a terrifying weapon. Imagine waking up one day with a big head in the clouds, telling you that if you don't want something, it's going to go wrong.
Well, y'all already know I went in on that.
The laws, what he calls the 5 laws, are the basic description of the structure of existence. So number 1 is you exist. There's nothing you can do to change that. You can change your form, but you cannot change the fact that you exist. The reason for that, very stupidly simply, is you can't become non-existent because by definition, non-existence doesn't exist. That's its definition, to not exist. Therefore, that which does exist just exists. That's its quality and cannot become that which doesn't exist because there's no such thing as non-existence by definition. So that's number 1. Number 2 is everything is here and now, which basically means space and time are an illusion, a projection of our consciousness. Everything actually exists all at once. It's all accessible right here. You just have to change your frequency in order to access it because that's how they're separated. They're separated by frequency.
Right.
Just in the same way that TV programs are separated by frequency, even though they may all be running at the same time. Number 3 is the one is the all are the one, which means there is only one thing, and everything that seems different is made out of that one thing because there's nothing else to make anything from. Number 4 is what you put out is what you get back. Sometimes people on Earth translate this as the law of attraction. And something important to say about that, because even though it's not incorrect to say that, well, you have to be the vibration of a thing to attract it, the idea of the way it's usually stated here is, in my opinion, incomplete. And people are left thinking, I have to learn what that vibration is to attract the things that I need in life. That I disagree with. You are already giving off that vibration because that's your natural core. Vibration is to attract what you need in life. If those things aren't manifesting, it's not because you're not the vibration of the attraction. It's that you are blocking them from coming. You're stopping the vibration from bringing them to you with negative and fear-based beliefs. So it's not an issue of having to learn to attract. It's an issue of having to learn to stop blocking what you're attracting naturally. And law number 5 is everything changes except the laws. Those are the structure that don't change, but everything else changes. Perspective, experience, beliefs, it all changes and it's changing constantly.
That's true. What you were meant to do was already destined for you when you were born. Your life, however it goes, good or bad, was destined for you. You just had to choose which way you wanted to go. Even when you chose the wrong way, that was destined for you. Even when you chose the right way, that was destined for you. You have two ways. What your destiny entails, I can't say. I don't know. Everybody's is different. If mine was to be a super renowned speaker and the other side was to be a bomb on the streets, right? Both of those were two possibilities already printed for me when I was born. I just had to make the right choices in order to get to my happy destiny, so to speak. So I don't know if that makes sense to y'all. Y'all get in the comments and let me know.
I mean, if shit hits the fan, you're not going to need money. You're going to need guns and ammo. If you're one of those people that are storing food and water and canned goods, you're just storing it for those of us who have guns. Well, bro, I thought you were ethical. It all goes out the window when when the system collapses. And I'll still be ethical, but it'll be according to different rules. Right. In other words, the strong survive in cases like that. So you're fucked.
But nah, he says some real stuff.
The United States government doesn't want you to know what really happened in Miami New Year 2024.
I look back, no cap, yo, no cap. I look back, it looked like a big ass shadow, but it was solid at the same time.
Disclaimer, this video is for entertainment purposes only and shouldn't be taken serious. Hundreds of police officers, helicopters, and more showed up for a call that allegedly was teenagers fighting with sticks. That's what they are telling us happened. But have you ever seen a police response like this for a fight? What if the truth is so sinister that once it gets out there, Pandora's box will forever be open? It's said that 7 to 10 foot tall creatures cloaked like something from a Predator movie and appearing as shadows was in that mall. People inside were firing gunshots at these creatures, and everyone was so scared that nobody could even pull out a phone to record. They was in fight or flight mode, and they was flighting. But this man later recorded the truth. Watch this.
Shadows, but they was solid at the same time, and it almost looked like they was coming our direction, like they was chasing us, but they was disappearing and reappearing closer. So I'm like, yo, what? So we start really moving. Next thing you know, we start hearing more gunshots like these dudes.
And listen to what this pastor says.
I've been trying for 7 years, and I get ridiculed if I start talking about these are not aliens from another planet. These are interdimensional beings that have been given a body.
Yeah, nah, that whole story has been recanted because the black guy that was just talking about what happened at the mall, he came back and said he was trolling. He said he was lying, and a lot of people saying that the police got to him and told him to change his story. Nah, the way that he did that video, he was just like, y'all bugging, y'all be bugging. But that's true, people do bug. You can literally hop on a trend as soon as you see it before it go viral and get in there and be one of the people and say, hey, I was there and this, that, and the third. People are going to go with that because it fits the narrative and it propagates everything. So yeah, I mean, oh, and I got videos of the clearest version. Oh yeah, I do.
Something exploded and now this is in the sky. Oh, look. What is that? What is that?
Oh my goodness.
Oh my God. Something exploded.
Mom,
what is that? I can't. I'm recording. I don't want to move. I got to record this. What is that? Oh, it left. The light left. What the fuck? What? It left. The light just disappeared, bro.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, hell no. What is this? What the?
I don't know what that was.
So that's an airplane.
Huh?
What? Oh, no.
Depending on where they at, they might be in Miami, and Miami has already reported seeing a whole bunch of stuff in the sky, right? But you got to think about the things that are close to Miami. You got SpaceX, you got NASA, all these different things down there in the bottom. So ain't no telling what you might see in the sky. That could be one of SpaceX shuttles going through its phases, you know, as it take launch. You know, it has like 2 or 3 phases, and then certain things explode. I mean, that's what happens. I mean, it's gotten to the point where we just believe way too much. So I don't know, y'all.
Oh, holy fucking shit, guys.
I think power adjust. No, that's good.
what the hell that is. Look like Moses. Look like he forgot where he was going.
Oh no. Holy fucking shit. I don't think we'll be able to get video of it because it's on rain wrap. Oh, holy fuck.
No, I think, I don't know.
It spooked the hell out of him. Yeah, I don't know what that was, y'all. Y'all get in the comments, let me know what y'all think, cause that was weird as hell.
Yo, how I wake up, my shit jumping like the trap. Nah, but for real, like real shit though on the dead homies, I was trolling. I ain't never even been to Miami. Shit, yo, y'all be bugging. Yo, real shit though, y'all stay away from them fucking aliens and all that. Y'all be safe out there.
See? Yeah, people play, man. They play all day.
January 2nd, 2024, with the whole Bayside situation, y'all gotta be stopped. Y'all gotta stop believing these people on TikTok and social media and all. Man, y'all gotta be stopped. In regards to this Bayside incident, we did not respond because it was 9-foot, 10-foot creatures and all this other bullshit y'all got going on. Bro, I'm gonna make this short, sweet, and simple. There was no black ops helicopter circling around the entire mall or any of that shit. There's no creatures, no nothing. It was a bunch of juveniles fighting and throwing fireworks at people. That's why we responded. Bro, y'all gotta stop this shit, bro. Like, stop clout chasing. There was no helicopters, no creatures, none of that. Stop.
I feel the same way he feel, man. People perpetuate stuff like this, bro, and push out this propaganda, and the stuff we really need to be worried about is getting pushed on us without us even knowing, bro. So yeah, I feel what he's saying, man. Like, for real, y'all do, man. Like, I understand a lot of stuff is for entertainment, man, but make sure you put that disclaimer there because people run with it, man. You got people that's scared for their lives out here, for real.
About alchemical sexual alchemy. Do you know that the story of Jesus, how it's been altered in certain ways? I mean, yes, there was a guy, yes, there was teachings, all that stuff. The parallel between that and alchemical sex is that there's 33 vertebrae in your spine. There's 33 years in the life of Jesus.
Right.
Okay. There is a substance or liquid or a substance that comes from your medulla, which is basically completely looks like the Ark of the Covenant, has angel's wings around it, the whole thing. So this substance comes from your medulla, makes the trip down your spine to your sacrum, which is quick, get a dictionary. Christ coming down into human form. Yep. And if you don't squander that essence, that sexual essence, it ascends again and goes back up to heaven, which is your thing. It's also the story of Santa Claus. Why he comes down the chimney is because this juice or this whatever substance actually passes what's called the claustrum, which is where they got Santa Claus.
As y'all know in the last video, the guy, Blind Zach, he explained that too. Explained it very well too. But yeah, this is actually true though. And the good part is that you can go look up the names of this liquid that comes from your medulla and it goes down your spine. And essentially every story in the Bible relates to Kundalini or Chi. Kundalini energy or Chi. That's just like when you meditate. You're supposed to meditate with your chest up, head up, because what this does, it binds your spine, right? And binds your spine together, and it keeps Kundalini energy or Chi from escaping. This is why when you sit with a bad posture and you get this what we call chills, that is the Chi escaping from your vertebrae, from your spine, because you're sitting with bad posture. This is why good posture was always pushed on us as kids. You know, gotta have a strong vertebrae.
So how did the government trick and finesse us to live how we're living now? What you mean by that? For example, right, I believe in God. I believe God gave us all this land. But how did the government make us pay for land that they don't own? Yeah, what? Yeah, what? So let's say you bought a house and you paid it off. You still have to pay the government taxes just to live in your own home.
Yep.
You right. And get this part. You don't even own your own car, bro. Wait. That's where you wrong at, because I technically do own my car. I just paid it all off. No, you don't. So you pay every month to use your car. We call that insurance. You pay taxes every year to use your car. We call that tabs.
Yep.
Tabs is how they keep tabs on us. Exactly. So if you don't pay for the tabs every year, then they won't allow you to use your car. Dang, man, I feel like I'm being bamboozled, bro. Oh, no. It gets worse. Let me hear more, man. Now, when we go to work, right? Before we get paid, who get paid? The government. So get this. The government takes money out of our check before we even get our check. Then we got to pay to keep our belongings and use our belongings every month.
Yep.
Wait. So let me get this right. If I buy a house and pay it off, I got to pay the government to keep it, or they will take it from me and sell it to someone else. If I buy a car, I have to pay the government to use it. And every time I get a job, the government will pay their sales before they pay me. Oh, it get worse. No, I can't even get no worse than that, bro. Oh no, get this. Now, you're supposed to pay the government to do all the natural things that you're supposed to do. What you mean by that? Like, for example, if you want to hunt, right? Something you naturally supposed to do, you got to go through the government and pay for that. And then on top of that, fruits and vegetables are supposed to be all through the world for free, right? But we allow the government to take all our fruits and vegetables to put them in grocery stores so we can pay for them. This is crazy to think about, bro. You want to get married? Go through the government. Want your kids to be educated? Go through the government. You want... I don't even want to hear no more, bro. This is just blowing my mind. Okay, one more question. All right, go ahead.
Hey, it's true. It is true. So this basically means that we as a people have to take our independence back. Learn how to garden. Learn how to fix on your own cars. Pick up skills to where you don't have to depend on your leaders. Otherwise, you're just modern day slaves. What we gonna do about it, people? We're gonna just sit here and just constantly watch this stuff play out? Or we're gonna take control? And I don't mean inciting a riot or anything like that, but take control of your life. You don't need a bunch of people to do that, because you have to be the change that you want to see. Look in the mirror and start there. And if everybody, each person in the world does that, there's the alliance right there. Nobody needs to stick together to go against the government. Care for each other when we need to, but be the change that you want to see. Look in the mirror and start to change. Point blank period. But hey, if you like what you saw, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Head over to the Discord. Send videos there that you want to see me react to. And also turn on that notification bell so you know when I upload. And remember, challenge the argument and not the person.